one of the reasons this movie probably came out and got
Mm-hmm.
greenlit with this big budget was because Warner Brothers lost a lot of their talent. And they wanted
Yeah.
to hold on to Todd Phillips because he was at least, maybe they were trying to rebuild a
This was
portfolio.
This was one of the things that Tom Connors over at Midnight's Edge was saying about this in particular. He was saying that Todd Phillips is not going to suffer any repercussions because they can't afford to lose him. They can't. He's clearly a talented director. Just maybe he shouldn't be doing this crap, and maybe the company shouldn't be doing this crap. You know?
Christopher Nolan's new movie landed at Universal, despite Warner Brothers attempt to lure him back with $7-figure Tenet check. What do you think of that?
Yeah, exactly.
But
he's not biting, apparently.
No. In 2020, the release of Christopher Nolan's $200 million Tenet was in jeopardy, facing an indefinite delay as COVID-19 pandemic raged.
A lot of people got screwed because of unilateral decisions by these corporations. And see, they're doing exactly what I was saying as consumers on these games, right? They're saying, you know what? Screw you then. I will never work with you again. And now they're suffering the ramifications. Great. You saved a bunch of money on that one movie, and now you will never get another movie out of Christopher Nolan. Congrats. Some other company will make money off of him.
Universal right now.
Your competitor, exactly.
Over that summer, the director, a champion of big screen experience, wanted his espionage thriller to be the first major tentpole to debut and reopen cinemas. Former Warner Brothers Entertainment chief Ann Sarnoff and the studio's motion picture chairman Toby Emmerich agreed to move forward with a theatrical release so long as Nolan forewent certain fees. Following Warner Media's 2022 merger with Discovery, and ensuring regime change, newly installed motion picture Chiefs Michael DeLuca and Pamela Abdy were eager to see Nolan return to the studio, which he had defected to Universal 9 months before the arrival to make Oppenheimer. Nolan had a long history with the studio dating back to 2002's Insomnia. As a goodwill gesture, Warner Brothers wrote him a 7-figure check, returning the Tenet fees he waived. Because I think he wanted a theatrical release for Tenet, and they said, we'll let you release it theatrically, but you have to waive certain fees. And then it kind of tanked at the box office because people weren't going back to theaters at that point.
Right.
Alas, the gesture failed to bring Nolan back for a man who continued to live in the same modest house in Hollywood Hills and was known to drive a 20-year-old Honda. Money isn't important, and a few extra million didn't move the needle. Instead, the Oscar winner and his producing partner and wife, Emma Thomas, opted to take his next project, which stars Matt Damon, to Universal and its formidable leader, Donna Langley. What matters to Nolan is are you going to release this right? Are you going to have the correct marketing strategy? Are you going to get the IMAX screens? Are you going to leave me alone to make this movie I want to make? All these things that he knows he got with Universal on Oppenheimer, says Stephen Galloway, dean of Chapman University's Dodge College of Film Media Arts. Why would he not go to Universal? Still, Warner's overture underscores Nolan's unique status in Hollywood, which has struggled to cultivate the next generation of auteurs who win Oscars and film multiplexes. This is true. Whatever you think of Nolan, he is one of these classic auteurs like James Cameron, Steven Spielberg, Alfred Hitchcock. He is one of those types, right?
Yep.
His name will sell the movie. In fact, Nolan is part of a dying breed of directors with name recognition, and they said that pool includes Quentin Tarantino, James Cameron, Steven Spielberg, Martin Scorsese held similar perches, but have seen diminishing box office returns even as their production budgets hold steady. Steven Spielberg's $100 million West Side Story reboot took $76 million worldwide toward the end of the pandemic, while Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon cost $250 million, but earned $159 million worldwide last year. I got to say, and I'm sorry, I'm going to say this, I don't care. Of course, it didn't affect Nolan's Oppenheimer, but these movie lengths are too long. Cut the time down.
It depends on the movie. If you have a 3-hour movie and you get to the end of the 3 hours and you go, holy crap, where did the time go?
Okay.
Then I'd say it's fine.
Yeah.
If you're looking at your watch halfway through it, then yeah.
You mean like in the Da Vinci Code?
Well, yeah. That's
Ron Howard who directed that.
Yeah.
Pickings are slim with the new wave of filmmakers. Greta Gerwig and Ryan Coogler have distinct styles and both mega hits with Barbie and Black Panther, yet both those films were based on known intellectual properties. What Nolan pulled off with Oppenheimer is miraculous. The Best Picture winner earned nearly $1 billion. $976 million to be exact, despite its R rating, 3-hour runtime, and focus on a historical figure who is the least likely subject to make money in the history of the entertainment business. Galloway notes. This is true. I don't know if people were screaming for an Oppenheimer film. I don't know if you saw Oppenheimer or not.
I haven't, but I've heard some good things. So
it's not my favorite Nolan movie, but I get why people liked it. Christopher Nolan is an IP unto himself, says the box office. What Nolan's film will be remains a mystery. It won't be The Prisoner, a project that has long history at Universal and was once developed as a vehicle for the director. Is this based on the 60 series?
I have no idea.
God, it would be funny if they cast Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
Because it's... Actually, wasn't the character in The Prisoner, and they never said this outright, but he was a former spy, correct?
Yes.
And Patrick McGowan, right? Didn't he also play the lead character on Secret Agent?
I think so, yes. Exactly.
People wondered if it was supposed to be the same character, but I don't know.
But they never say his name, so
yes.
you never,
the idea is when you're a spy...
Your headcanon totally could accommodate that, yes.
You can't stop being a spy, basically. Wasn't that the point of it?
Exactly.
Sources say Nolan's latest isn't another sci-fi epic. Some speculate that it may be in the espionage genre. That's not a surprise, given that Nolan flirted with making a Bond film at some point. However, that franchise has been in limbo since Daniel Craig retired as 007, with 2021's No Time to Die. I wish
they friggin' killed it.
I wish Nolan had directed No Time to Die. Oh. Don't get me
I wish he was given the opportunity to reboot it.
I don't know. He could take another spy series that no one's done, maybe. Of course, Tenet was supposed to be sort of a spy movie, but it involved weird time travel stuff in it. Did you know that?
Yeah.
But Nolan isn't just any director. In addition to Oppenheimer, 2 of his films crossed 1 billion mark with Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises. Says Galloway, this isn't the same some hack who happens to have delivered Look Who's Talking number 38 or Sharknado. This is Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
You know what? Why is everybody picking on Sharknado? Danger Man. In England, it was Danger Man, wasn't it? That's right. Only a few films should be 3 hours long, like Lord of the Rings. Well, that's the thing. If Hollywood wants to say we're back to making epics, please include an intermission.
Yeah.
You know, make it like the old days. You're already charging out the wazoo for the theater ticket prices anyway. Make it a little...
Actually, you know what? Let's think about this for a moment from a business point of view. That actually would be a good idea, because you give them about 15 minutes to go out, hit the head, and maybe buy some more popcorn and candy and soda.
Yeah.
That's good for the theater. That'll keep the theaters going.
The theaters don't understand that the fans are the ones that build a franchise. The fans drag their normie friends to the movies. No fans, no normers, no money. Yeah, they're the ones that hype up the movies by word of mouth and say this is really cool. And now we don't have that because all the fans hate what's coming out. The Hobbit, however, was and offer. Oh no, dude! Jackson made extended editions of that Hobbit trilogy. But what did he leave out? He was adding stuff in. He was John.
He added a lot of stuff in. That's why I have the fan edit that takes all 3 movies and distills them and edits them down to what was actually just The Hobbit.
The Hobbit, yeah.
That is the way to watch it.
Hour and a half at the very least. Well, that's the European runtime. That was always the classic European runtime, was 90 minutes. Whereas we in America, Hollywood, they tend to go more for 2 hours. Of course, not the old classic Hollywood movies. Those would be shorter, much shorter.